If you want to step into femininity, this video is going to be your cheat code. At one point, I couldn't tell you who I was, what I stood for, what I liked, what I disliked. It was kind of weird because even though I was in my 20s, I still felt like a teenager. I'm going to walk through the 5 lessons that will actually help you after you've lost yourself. Each one of these is a very important lesson that was holding me back until I learned this on my own. Hi, I'm Brunel and I made this channel specifically to help young women learn what I wish someone had told me. So let's actually get into it. So the first lesson I learned is that femininity is about recognizing the power of your choices and then deciding what you want to do from there. At one point, you got to stop blaming the things that you were taught as a child. This was definitely a hard pill to swallow because I didn't have anyone to blame except myself. I want you guys to enter the space without shaming yourself, and that's something that I definitely struggled with. It's definitely something that I feel like helped me transition from that teenage mindset into where I'm actually an adult. And that was recognizing that I can still create my story, that I can still build the life that I want. I can still develop myself in ways that women before me weren't able to do in my bloodline, specifically doing things that people in my family haven't done. And I think that is a part of femininity, is recognizing the power that you have and the choices that you can make. Lesson number 2 is definitely my favorite. I actually got this from one of my closest friends. We were speaking on the phone and I was just kind of asking her, what does femininity mean to you? And she said this, and I think it will change the way in which you see femininity and womanhood. But she said femininity is being your most regulated self. It was about 2 years ago when I realized that I didn't know how to regulate myself and that I was lashing out at a lot of people around me. And it was just, for a lack of better term, childish. And it was something that I needed to get a rein on because I was now growing into an adult and trying to build relationships around me. But who's gonna want to be around someone that's always lashing out at them? Who's gonna want to build a relationship with someone that doesn't know how to take control of their own emotions? Being regulated is what allows for you to be soft, is what allows you to be soft with the people around you and also soft with yourself. And that's something that I've definitely been a lot more intentional about, recognizing when I'm not regulated and then learning how to regulate myself as well so that I don't project onto other people and so that I can feel a lot more calm within myself, a lot more grounded. And this is not to say that it's going to fix all your problems, but allows you to manage them in a healthier way. I actually wrote a Substack about this. It was titled My Favorite Color is Green. I think you should go and have a read. And in that Substack, I spoke about when you've been in survival mode for so long, you stop paying attention to things that get you into that flow state, things that you can do without keeping track of time and you genuinely enjoy it and because it doesn't pay your bills. And this is, I think, the part of adulting that I really hated. I think when you're in a constant state of survival mode, you just don't have time to do things that don't pay your bills. You don't have time to do things that you can be emotionally vulnerable in. You don't have time to do things that will make you happy. Yes, you can go watch a movie, you can go out to eat. That's great. But it's like the things that I actually enjoy doing, such as writing, reading, what else was my hobby as a child? Music, like anything to do with music. I don't have time to do that because that's not going to pay the bills. Part of femininity is that groundedness, being able to express yourself in ways that allow you to be emotionally vulnerable, which is why I've gotten back into writing, just so that I could have that for myself. Cutting off my own expressiveness was cutting out a core of my femininity because that was a huge part of my identity. Finding a hobby or finding something that allows you to be emotionally vulnerable, but then it also allows you to express a part of yourself that isn't attached to anything monetary, isn't attached to anything serious, but this allows you to just be that child for a second. Lesson number 4 is definitely something I felt like needed to be on this list because it is important. The reason why I still felt like a teenager, even though I was well into my 20s, was because I was still dressing for a version of myself that I had outgrown. What was my style? If it weren't gym sets, it was like crop tops and tight jeans, you know? But the person that I am today, like the taste that I have today, I feel like it's a lot more refined. It's a lot more intentional. I like to story tell. I like to look chic, expensive. I like to put together. And the way in which I was presenting myself was not It was not given that. 9 times out of 10, when you go out into the public, you're not going to see the people in which you come across again. This was something I noticed when I started working my 9 to 5. Prior to that, like prior to getting this 9 to 5, I would kind of just wear what I wanted to wear, what I felt comfortable in, which was like the gym sets and stuff. And then when I started to dress up, go to work, I'd literally put my makeup on, wake up extra early to put my makeup on, put on a nice cashmere sweater, blazer. I was looking real cute, and I noticed that people would treat me differently. And that's when it clicked to me. I was like, oh, so how you present yourself is important. I started getting offering seats, or people would like hold the door for me. And I felt like I was being noticed. I was starting to feel like I was being treated as the adult I was, especially because when I don't wear makeup, people don't think I'm my age. Like if I was to tell you my age and you saw me on the street, you wouldn't believe me. And I've had that my entire life. It's not to do with the age I'm at now. Even in school, people thought my younger sister was older than me. I just have a baby face, I guess, or I just don't look my age. But it was definitely something in which I took into consideration. How you present yourself is super important, but this is not for the outside. This is how you want to present yourself. So if you were starring in a movie about your own life, how would you want your character to dress up? And then just start from there. So the final lesson I wanted to touch on about femininity and figuring out who you are is community. And I will stress this in every single video if it's the last thing I will do, because of how important I believe this truly is. Femininity is about having support and knowing when you need support, but then also having that girlhood, having that friendship, having that community that is going to cheer you on, that you can also cheer on as well. The older I get, the more I realize how important it is to be part of a community, and to be within that community means that you're going to inconvenience yourself sometimes, because that is a cost of community. This wasn't something I really valued growing up. I saw it that friends come and go. Like, my current closest friend has really taught me about friendship, being validated through friendship, being protected through friendship. Definitely hold on to the people in which you love, but then also be that friend in which you would want for yourself as well. Show up in ways in which you would want someone to show up for you. Going out of your way to see your friends, going out of your way to be intentional. Like I said, sometimes it will be inconvenient, but the cost of friendship is so priceless that I just kind of feel like is what comes with it, to be honest. So to recap on this video, lesson number 1 was about recognizing the power in your own choices. Number 2 would be regulating yourself. Number 2 would be regulating yourself and being in control emotionally. Number 3 is expression through your hobbies. Number 4 would be your uniform and how you present yourself to the world. Number 5 would be nurturing your community and showing up in the way in which you'd want someone to show up for you. I have to be completely honest, I still struggle with these lessons. I'm not going to sit here and act like this is something that I've completely nailed down, but these were the 5 things that I felt like really have impacted my transition from being a teenager to be my early 20s to now being in my mid 20s. But I'm closer to 30 than I am 20, and it's time that I start holding myself accountable and start doing things a different way and have a higher standard for myself in the way in which I choose to develop into this woman that I hope to become. And it's time to start holding a standard for myself as I enter this next decade. I just wish I had someone to tell me these things, which is why I wanted to share it with you guys, because I had to learn this the hard way. My Substack is in the description box below for the girlies that like to read. I definitely would like to hear your opinion in the comment section below. Don't be shy, guys. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this video. Drop me a like, and I definitely will see you in my next one. Bye.